Hi, it's Bonnie Southgate here, continuing with our exercises for hypermobiles. We are going to do a few more little shoulder exercises, thinking about working the scapula with the shoulders and also moving them around the rib cage and adding a bit of rotation on for ribs in general. So I had really a lot of rib problems, rib dislocations, and discomfort and tightness around there. And I really do put it down to my poor shoulder mechanics with all the dislocations of the shoulders. So these are all things that really helped me, and hopefully they'll help you too. So I want to get you lying on your side now. If you've looked at the other videos and done them, this would be a progression from those. If you feel like you can't lie on your side, then that's a little bit more problematic. So don't do anything that is going to make you dislocate down there. But hopefully, as long as you're stacked up with pillows well enough under your head, there's not too much pressure under that underneath arm, you'll be fine. I want you just to put that where you can. So in terms of your body position, I would want you to think about not being overlifted underneath or too lax. You want to just be nice and relaxed. Hips I want to be bent and knees bent. So I don't want the legs back there. That's not going to be great for your backs. You want to be in a nice comfortable position with the legs forward, feet stacked on one another. So we're going to take our hand on our chest to begin with. And the idea with these movements, and you might have to change this arm to make it more comfortable. I did for that shoulder. So put this hand wherever it feels nice and comfortable on that shoulder. We're going to start to move the elbow forward. And what I want you to do is feel like all the movements are actually coming from your shoulder blade, not the arm so much in the socket. Feel that the shoulder blade leads the movement forward. So I'm allowing the shoulder blade to lead all these movements going all the way around my body, and I'm going to take it all the way back into rotation. When I go back, my shoulder blade is moving towards my spine, and that takes me round and bringing it down. And I am really focusing. So I've got my hand here, so I know that I'm focusing on the shoulder blade, taking my arm around. And so it's keeping that connection of the arm and the shoulder blade together rather than separating that arm from the socket, which is your shoulder scapula or shoulder blade. So we're circling around in one direction and just allowing the ribs to move. Don't take it into a place where you're crunching anywhere or things feel like they're popping out or not comfortable, and bring the arm back. And then you're going to rotate the other way. And I'm going to let my scapula lead my movements, rotating around. I often find the hypermobiles are really jammed down. And let the shoulder blade lift up and around and forward and down. And when it comes down, don't let the arms keep sinking down. Keep the two connected. And one more time. And feel the shoulder blade rolling it all the way around. Good. Taking the hands forward. Now, if you were able to do that, then we'll move into this. So you're going to reach the top arm forward, and the shoulder blade takes you again. So I don't want the arm to come out of the socket. It's not about reaching too much. I want that shoulder blade moving the arm. And then come back. And the shoulder blade moves the arm. And come back. And I can take my hand on my chest. Now, as I rotate to look behind me, I want you to think about your sternum and your breastbone. So I want you to feel like your sternum has little eyes and it's looking to the right, or it's looking to rotate with you. So my eyes are looking, my sternum is looking behind me, and I'm keeping my shoulder blade moving. So I'm not allowing my arm to hang. So I'm not allowing my arm to hang back that way. I'm just keeping my arm in line with my shoulder blade as I rotate. And then I come back and my shoulder blade comes back with me. So we're going to go to the other side now. Otherwise I'm going to feel really uneven. And this should help to free you around your ribs. If you're worried about rib dislocations, then take it really, really, really slowly. Maybe don't do all the way, just limited ranges of movement, but just trying to get the shoulder blade, the focus of the shoulder blade moving. I think a lot of times we fix there for stability. and in those shoulders. So shoulder blade is moving around. So I'm allowing the shoulder blade to take my arm. Rolling it around. Don't take it into a range that's uncomfortable. And the aim is that you keep that arm in line with that shoulder blade, or continuing to move the arm with the shoulder blade. And reversing the circles. And I can take my head with me a little bit. And rotating around. And as you rotate around, you're allowing those ribs to lift nicely. So I'm not staying jammed down. Good. Bring it all the way back. 2 hands forward. So I'm reaching for my shoulder blade, is taking my arm. I don't want it coming, so this arm is a little bit more wanting to come out of the socket. So I'm going to relax. I'm going to focus on the shoulder blade and come back. Taking your hand in your chest, my sternum rotates with me. Looking back. And again, I'm going to take that arm forward, and I'm going to think about my shoulder blade. If I feel like I'm uncomfortable on my ribs, you might try lifting the ribs up a little bit, so supporting from underneath. See what happens when you reach forward if you do that. And come back. Hand on your chest. Lift the chest as you rotate. And one more time. So on this side, I need to be lifting my ribs up a little bit. So I'm supporting from underneath, and that takes away the discomfort in my ribs. So you can, if you're feeling discomfort in your ribs, you can try and lift up a little bit, supporting from the waist underneath. Or you can try the other way, but usually the other way will be for going back. If you're going forward, you want the lift. And if you go back and it's uncomfortable, you want to allow it to sink. So ribs are coordinated with the scapula and the spine and the movements in flexion and extension. And when your ribs shift that way, it will aid in flexion, so going around. And when you're going into extension, your ribs can slide the other way, which will allow the extension easier. So that's a little something you can think about as well. So hopefully that was helpful. It's got your shoulders moving and gliding, and you've got some stability exercises. And that will be all that I post today. I will do a whole another series. We'll try and build up nice and slowly, eventually into doing a whole class. So all of you take care, keep well, keep breathing well, and I will send you some more videos next week.